Wagwan beautiful people, I am Chev. Be very new to this channel. Welcome Wagwan. Make sure you are subscribed. You guys been asking me to do a makeup tutorial and I have not delivered. So this is our 1 year since updated makeup routine. So I'm gonna show you guys all the products that I am absolutely loving right now that gives me that look. If I wore makeup every day, this is how I would wear my makeup. So first things first, we gotta prep our face because you need a good canvas, and I am going to be using the Glow Recipe drop. I got this as a birthday gift from Sephora and I absolutely love it. So we gotta make sure that our skin is moisturized. Just a disclaimer, I am Jamaican. Usually when I do talking videos, the patois jump in and out. So if you hear a little bit of Jamaican patois, you know. Last time somebody asked me if I was Bajan, I did not know I had a Bajan accent. Like, what are you saying? To prime my face, I'm using the Milk Hydro Grip. The only other primer that I've used apart from the Milk is the Elf. It's the dupe to this product. They're pretty much the same. They're just at different price points. For my brows, I use the Benefit Precisely My Brows Pencil. Tell me why last night I was doing my makeup to go to an event and it's done. That's the one thing I do not like with this brow pencil, is that it finishes so quickly, but might be the best pencil ever. Now we're gonna substitute for the brows. So I have this Maybelline Express Brow. So making strokes. Now if you have long brow hairs, you need to slap them babies down. So I'm gonna use this Juvia's Place brow gel and just make those babies lie flat. I need to like mold them in place because them get real unruly. I'm gonna like that. I'm gonna like that at all. Now we're gonna clean up the brows and we're using Too Faced Butterscotch to clean up the brows. When I'm doing my brows, I need a mirror directly in front of me or it's gonna look a hot mess. I'm gonna put the brushes that I use in the description box, but most of my brushes are either Morphe or Real Technique. So we're using this Real Technique crease brush and just smooth that out. So I'm gonna do is take a wet paper towel and I just take off the excess makeup off of this brow brush. This brush is from Morphe and it is the M224 brush. I have a love-hate relationship with this brush because it's so great, but I hate how much the bristles come out of it. At the top of my brows, I don't use concealer. I don't use anything else but the actual foundation shade that's gonna go on the rest of my face because I don't want that halo look. I don't want to do the extra work trying to blend the top of my eyebrows. Like, it's not fun, and then sometimes you might mess up your brows. So use your foundation shade. It's the best thing. For foundation, I'm using the NARS, and this is the lightweight reflecting foundation, Chef's Kiss. If you want your skin to look like skin when you're wearing makeup, this foundation is God sent. Squeeze a dab on my forehead, and then we're gonna take some from here and just clean up the top of the brows. And then what's left on the brush, I just go around the corners, especially if you have like your hair already done. So what we're gonna do, we're not gonna use all of this that's on our forehead. We're gonna bring it down. I'm using the ELF Ultimate Blending Brush. So if you're wearing a wig, you just want to be careful not to touch your lace with the foundation. The only thing I put on my lace is bronzing powder. So I'm not going under the eye with my brush. I'm just staying right under it, but not at the crease. Like my foundation shade, just a tad bit darker. I don't have to liquid contour because I'm gonna already have that natural contour because of my foundation. So I'm gonna use this Morphe brush. It's the M173, and I'm gonna go in the tight areas that my foundation brush couldn't go and just dab everything in. And since I put concealer up here, I don't want it to crease too much, so I'm going to be using the Laura Mercier powder in Honey. I just use the translucent powder to set the top of my eye. So I just use a small amount, not too much. Now the top of my eyelids, I'm going to be using this Morphe Bronze Melt palette, and I'm just going to add some color to my lids. So I'm going to go with this shade right here. This is just basically to add dimension to my lids. I don't want to leave it like this. I like when it has some color to it. And then I'm going to go in with this middle shade, this middle brown. Do a little swoop. And then I just put some more right here, because when it's time to contour the nose, we want it all to come together. Now we're going to go back in with the Too Faced concealer. And this shade is Butterscotch. And then I just put some on the outer corner here. I don't put too much on the side if my hair is already done. I got a wig on because I don't want it to go this way and then mess with my lace. And then put it a little on the forehead and right above my lips. So what I like to do is let it sit for a minute, do its thing, soak into the skin, get acquainted with my foundation, you know, like get to know each other a little bit, you know. Then I'm going to go in with the Fenty Pro Filler Matte Powder Foundation. So it's going to give me a more soft matte look, like not super matte, but just soft. Real soft and pearly. So I'm using this e.l.f. complexion duo brush. I know I said most of my brushes are from Morphe and Real Technique, but clearly we got a lot of e.l.f. brushes. E.l.f. brushes are really nice, especially for complexion when it comes to contouring foundation brushes. Why does your nose run when you're doing your makeup? It's the most annoying thing ever. Now it's time to blend out the concealer, and we're using the Real Technique setting brush. We're just gonna dab. Now I like using a brush instead of a sponge because I feel like I get to use less product, and the sponge, not a sponge, the brush doesn't soak in your product. It actually let it stays on your skin and just move on your skin. I feel like when I use sponge, it just absorbs everything. And then for the eyes, I just pat until it's fully blended and melted into my skin. For those tight areas, I just go in with the Real Technique crease brush and just squeeze on up there. And I like to get the corners of my nose because a lot of times it doesn't show much creasing, but when I'm done with my makeup, I see, like, you know, like product that wasn't blended in the corner of my nose. So I gotta make sure that that baby is blended out. Now that my concealer under the eye is concealed and blended and melted, what I like to do is go in with a liquid blush right on the cheekbone, and I'm using the Rare Beauty blush because I feel like it's one of the best liquid blushes. It doesn't leave your face looking chalky. It just looks so pretty to me without like being, you know, overbearing. Some of them just don't blend too well, and I've always stayed away from liquid blush. But Rare Beauty, the formula, gorgeous. This one that I'm using is called Grace. Like, look at that. Grace is pretty. Grace is that girl. Oh, the brush that I'm using is a Expert face brush from Real Technique, and I use this sometimes as a foundation brush. That's why I think it's perfect for blending. I've always used or tried to use a blush brush, and they always just don't work out for me. So after I've done that, you see that the blush is like really blushing, and I love that. So I'm not gonna go in with more concealer because my setting powder is gonna do the highlighting for me. So I'm gonna take my crease brush, dab and blend under my eye once more because I didn't want to put powder on before I put the blush on because I didn't want it to look chalky. Okay, now it's time to set or concealer, and we're using Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Complexion Perfecting Micro Powder. That was a mouthful. And I'm using the shade Tan. It's pricey AF, but Charlotte Tilbury delivers when it comes to the quality. Okay, I can't even front. Like I told my mom is like, how do I get under my eyes to be setted without creasing too much? I'm like, girl, that's Charlotte Tilbury. And she's like, girl, I already bought the setting spray. Like, what more do you want? I'm like, do you want them under eyes to look flawless or not? It's either you can get something else, but I'm telling you what I use. So I'm using this puffer from Amazon. I got a pack from Amazon, and then I just dab it on the powder, and it's gonna look like this. And then I just press it in right under my eye. Like, look at that. Like, it's just a flawless finish that I am just obsessed. You don't want to wipe the product in, you want to just dab it. And honestly, you don't even need to do too much, but I just do it until I'm satisfied. And I especially put it around my nose. So anywhere I feel like I could crease, I put it there. And I just go around my mouth a little bit. And the nose. Now we're about to contour / bronze, and I have two products that are super affordable that I just stick by, love by, live by, can't do without. So it's either the Sephora Micro Smooth Powder. This powder right here is the truth. Like one of Sephora collection's best. Okay, the top of the list. So I use number 80, or I do the Laura Mercier. Why am I saying Laura Mercier? Or I use the L'Oreal. Why am I having such a difficult time saying words? I use the L'Oreal Paris Soft Matte Bronzer, and this is the shade Dark in 500. So we're going to use the L'Oreal Paris, and I'm using this bronzing brush from Morphe. It's the E4, and I just push it upwards. So I don't go down, I go up to get them high cheekbones. And then this is where I go on my lace just a bit, so that my contour, my forehead, and the lace all blend together. And then for the angular jawline, we put some there as well. We're gonna go back with the e.l.f. Complexion Duo Brush, and then we're gonna contour the nose. So don't be a little bit scared if it looks dark, because you can just blend that out with your puffer that we used earlier for under the eyes. So I did a slight boo-boo. I came too far on this side. I don't know if it's my shadow. We're going to use our puffer again with the Laura Mercier powder. And we're going to dab that. Now once we dab it, I dab it on my hand just to get the excess powder off. And then I'm going to go under the eyes. Press that powder into the skin, honey. Make sure you're pressing it in. And I don't do this more than once since I already preset with the Charlotte Tilbury. So I really don't need a lot. I'm just highlighting under my eyes just a tad more. And then I go up a little bit on my nose to blend out that contour that I did. Under the nose and then back up under the eyes. I'm just going to take this brush, this Real Technique brush, and just blend out my forehead. And I'm just going to take some of the excess powder on my hand. And I'm going to use a puffer just to cut my jawline. Is that jawline or my cheek? I mean my cheek. The definition in the face. That's what we're trying to create. I want to use this Morphe brush that I use to like set my eyelid. And I'm going to dab some on my brow. Especially the part that looks a little bit oily. I'm going to put some strokes on my brows. Because sometimes my concealer eats away at the very top of my brows, so I just fill in certain areas and just use a spoolie and just brush it in. With your blush, you can leave it as so if you're good with it, or if you want to be a little bit extra like myself, I'm going to use this Sephora Collection Micro Smooth palette. And with this palette, I'm going to go with the more burnt blush down at the bottom, so it looks like a mix between a bronzer and a blush, and I just dab it. Excuse my little my little blush brush right here, because where the bottom of it is, I could not tell you. I don't know, but I love this brush and I refuse to let it go. And then I put some on the tippity point of my nose. Also, what I did recently and I really liked, I took some of the blush, right, this more pinky blush up here, and I put it at the top near my brow bone for a little bit of color at the top, so it even gives more color dimension to the eyes. So I'm going to use a little bit of the Micro Smooth and just apply it right below my blush. Then I'm going to use this Morphe powder. You can use any type of complexion powder that you have. Sometimes I use MAC Studio Finish, and I use the NW46. Sometimes I use it, or sometimes I use this Morphe. This is the Filter Effect finishing powder. I use Filter 14, and this is gonna help bring down some of the lightness to my face that the powder did. I don't want my face to look too light. Okay, now it's time for our setting spray. So we're gonna use the Charlotte Tilbury setting spray. If you don't know, now you know. This is one of the best setting sprays ever made. Like, don't argue with me. It is quality. It's not, you know, a lot of times you buy makeup products and they give you this high price and it's like, but what are you doing? This is doing something. It's doing a lot. Your makeup looks so velvety when you're done with the settings. We're like, don't take my word for it. Just see poo. We ain't done yet. Now I'm going to use this Sephora retractable waterproof liner. And we're gonna do right on the lash line. It ain't for the weak. Now I'm going to use the Morphe palette once more, and I'm going to use this dark powder and then put it right on my bottom lids. So we're going to create like a brown smoky look. Ain't that pretty? I'm using this Maybelline mascara and then just swoop them bottom lashes. Now I'm about to highlight a little bit. A lot of people don't highlight like that no more, but I still do. So we're going to use our Ever Faithful Morphe palette. I'm going to use this middle slightly bronzed shade, put on the tip of my nose and the bridge of my nose. Then we're going to use a little bit to dab under the brow bone. Finally, it's time for the lips, and I'm going to be using Juvia's Place to complete my lip look. Now we're going to use this lip liner in the shade Cola. And I'm not going to overline my lips. I'm just going to go with the natural shade of my lips. Sometimes I do overline, but today I'm feeling like we're just going to stick with the natural lip. Now what I love about this pencil is that it's not too dark brown. Like, it's that perfect espresso chocolatey type of brown. And I do keep the bottom lip just with a little bit of liner, and then the top lip I do come down a bit just to give it a darker look. I just like the dimension of the ratio of lip liner to lip gloss, especially on the bottom lip. I like more color on the bottom than the top. I don't know what it is, but I just really like it. Next, we're going to go in with this lip gloss, and this is the Voluminous Gloss Stick from Juvia's Place, and this color is Sugar Cookie. I wore this yesterday. I just received it from Juvia's Place like 2 days ago, and I wore this last night. Now what you want to do is be careful with the applicator, because I twisted it way too much and I couldn't twist it back down. If you want to add more of a pink tone with this, so you could do the chocolate gloss. It's giving a nude chocolatey type of look. Or Typically, I do Morphe Gloss. This is in the shade Virgin. This is their mattifying gloss stick. Is that what it's called? I don't know what it's called, child. But it is a matte color. Sometimes I just mix it with like lip gloss to give it like a glossy look. But I just dab it. Do a little bit of that. And then I just go over that with my liner one more time. So I go over that with a little bit of gloss, and I'm using the Sephora glossed lip gloss, and this is in Not Today. Just gives a nice peachy finish. And there you have it, guys. This is my soft velvety, that's what I'm gonna call it, a soft velvety type of glam look. I would say it is quick enough. If you make it quick, you can skip some steps. Some steps are not always absolutely necessary, but if you want that velvety look, this is how I achieve it, because it's so soft and matte. And this is one of my favorite looks to do too in the fall and winter time. I just love this look, and it's so blushy and pink and bronzed and brown skin, and it's giving me life. Let me know what you guys think about this completed makeup look. Let me know if you want to see more makeup tutorials, or if you want to do more chit chat, get ready with me style videos. Like, let me know what y'all feeling for. Thank you so much for watching. All the products that I use will be in the description box, along with the brushes and everything you need to know if you're interested in the jewels. I have them on my website, so you can get this cutesy subtle gold earring on my website. And we got the rings, of course, and the bangles. Like, you can get it all on my website, Chev House of, oh, I forgot my website name, houseofchevb.com, and get all you need over there. Thank y'all so much for watching. I'll see y'all in my next video. Go on, big up on yourself. Bye, guys. Mwah.